Okay, everybody, it's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. This is a hustle. It's kind of different than what most of the other hustles that I go over and everything like that. This is more of a long-term hustle. You know, there's a lot of different things out there that we can get involved in. You know, dump trailer, kind of somewhat short-term, somewhat long-term. You know, it's got an expense to it. You know, $8, $9, $10, $12,000 to get a dump trailer and get in business with that. Other hustles a lot cheaper. Buy a pressure washer for $500. Now you've got a instrument that you can go out and make money with. You can pressure wash on the weekends. You can pressure wash after your W-2 job. You could actually start pressure washing full time. So, you know, there's all kinds of different hustles out there. But the biggest thing is, for me at least, making that hustle get me to a point of where I'm not having to hustle any longer. And when my money is working for me and making me more money. And then even better is when I'm making money when I'm sleeping. Trust me on that. You know, it's a pretty cool thing when the first of the month rolls around, you go to your mailbox and boom, there's some money in there. So, you know, that's what the whole goal for me is to get to the point where my money is making me money while I'm sleeping. Okay? Because otherwise, I'm probably going to end up having to work for somebody else for the rest of my life. And eventually, I want to go and do and travel and do some other things that I want to do and that I'm going to do on my schedule. Okay? So, there you have it. You know, I did a video a couple days ago having to do with the most unusual hustle, and it has to do with doing private mortgages on real estate. I have had a tremendous amount of people reach out to me, okay? And if you're interested in doing this, send me an email. My email's in the description, but I'm actually going to do a video on how you can do this, okay? Now, if you're looking for opportunities that are on the long term that have to do with real estate, I've actually got one right now that's looking for an investor. It's a $65,000 loan for 10 years at 7%, and it is with a house that will appraise for between 105 to 120. Okay, so what this means is you'd have put up $65,000. You're registered as being basically the lien holder on the mortgage, okay? And you're doing that on a house that you already almost have 50% equity in, okay? This is like a no-brainer slam dunk. The one thing about it, though, you got to have $65,000 up front. The thing about it, you're making 7% return on your money, and you have a piece of collateral that guarantees the loan if something goes bad. And then if something does go bad, you're almost going to be doubling your money once you get that piece of property back, if things keep on the way that they are and whatnot. So, but at the very least, I was talking with somebody this morning and they were saying, well, you know, I'm kind of getting more than 8% and I got it in something, but, you know, the stock market index has got to stay right here. But if it goes down, then, you know, I'm not going to get that and everything. And I'm like, good Lord, man. You know, that instability would drive me crazy. You know, I want money and I want an amount that I can count on, and I want it monthly. You know, so we're going to go into this. I'm going to kind of show you how to do this and everything. And so stay tuned with this. We're going to be doing and going over how to do a private mortgage. Hey there, everybody. Here we are at the dump trailer. And John came by and he saw my channel. He and I first met when we were going through the gate at Santa Rosa landfill. And he called me today, said, hey, man, you got a dump trailer I can rent? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. And So he came by and picked this up, and let's see right here. Oh, I guess y'all see it, but there's a little bit of what we call that G money. That's for green money. And here's the thing, folks. You know, so many people get wrapped up into stuff, and they're like, oh man, you know, you shouldn't do that. He's competition, or, you know, I don't know why you help out and everything. There's so much business out there, okay? There's a gazillion dollars in the universe, all right? And if John puts me out of business, then I was doing it wrong, okay? But guess what? We help each other out. I'm gonna tell you something about John. When John went on vacation a couple weeks ago, he called me and said, hey man, if you need my trailer, here's a combination, here's where the keys are at, feel free to go and use it and everything like that. That's competition, right? No, that's two guys that are trying to struggle and make a hustle and help each other out and everything like that. It's a big wide world out there, folks. Don't get wrapped up. I'm here to tell you, you really want people on your side to you know, to help benefit and everything. I mean, you know, we can all get along with this and everything. It ain't about you know, me against them or anything like that. So, you know, just be careful, folks, and remember, there's plenty of cheese for everybody. Right. I'm gonna go over how you do a private mortgage in the state of Florida. Okay, it's a state I live in. I don't know how any other states do it, so I'd be speaking out of ignorance. I will start with this is, it's very important for you to have an attorney in your corner, okay? No matter what type of business that you have going on, you want to be able to call somebody and say, hey, I got this question, you know, how do we get this answer? Or what would you suggest that I do? Unfortunately, the nature of the beast is that at some point, somebody's going to want something from you, whether it's justified or not. And having an attorney is going to be extremely advantageous to have in your corner, so that when that situation does arrive, you're not scrambling to try to establish a relationship with somebody and you have no idea how they are, okay? And trust me on this, just because your buddy says this attorney's real good doesn't mean that they're going to be real great. Your buddy might have real low knowledge or real low expectations of how an attorney is supposed to perform, what kind of results he's going to get, and what he does. The other thing that I highly suggest is make sure that the attorney you're using is specialized in the area of law that you have questions about, okay? Don't go and ask a criminal attorney for advice with real estate. Don't ask a real estate attorney for advice having to do with you know, capital crimes. It's not a good idea, okay? Get somebody that speaks the language of the business or the question that you have and go and talk with them, you know? If I need somebody to represent me in, you know, a wrongful injury, then, you know, I'm not going to go talk to an attorney that's a, you know, an estate planner. So just use your common sense, okay? You're not going to go to Amco Transmission and say, hey, I got this problem with my heart. Can you take a look at this? You know, don't be stupid. You know, go talk to a specialist in that field. More coming up. All right. We're doing the private mortgage, okay? You can arrange this any way you want to, all right? As far as rate, the interest rate on the loan, terms, which is how long. You can structure it any way you want to. In the state of Florida, the way that it is done is that you have, you can write it up yourself. I always suggest using an attorney, because if you ever go to court, then you want something that is most likely going to be in front of a judge, and that judge says, yes, this is correct, okay? Redneck Robert does some legal papers, it might not fly, okay? It might look good to me and it might look good to them, but once we get in front of a judge, he could say, that's totally incorrect against the law, case thrown out, you lose property, sir. Boom! And then you're like, ah, should have got an attorney. So get an attorney, okay? Now, the opportunity that I have right now is 10 years at 6%, okay? $65,000 loaned on a house that should appraise for between 105 and 120, okay? So whoever takes up on this opportunity is going to walk into a property that they are getting loan to value on it is almost 50 cents on the dollar, because it's real close to that. It's almost got 50% equity into it, okay? And so the thing is that, say like they loan the money, they got to take me to court, boom, they're getting a property that they've already got built-in equity to. Now, let me ask you this, okay? Is there any way for you to buy $100,000 worth of stock for 70 grand? Hello? 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 Exactly. You can't do it, okay? That's why I like private mortgages so much, okay? I have done a deal with the lady. I had a problem, mobile home. Finally, I just said, you know what? 3 grand down, 300 a month for 7 years, and it's yours. 72 hours, somebody shows up. They had the down payment. It's been going great for 1.5 years. All I do is get a text at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the month, and she says, hey, the money's in the account. I look, boom. I don't get any calls about the roof's leaking, the sink is stopped up, toilet won't flush, this won't happen, that won't happen. I don't get those calls. Guess why? Because I don't own it. They do. Okay? Huge, huge difference. Okay? And eventually, this is where I'm going to be as far as doing all of my properties out to people on owner finance, so that all I do is sit back and answer the phone or open up the mailbox or get a text message that says, money's in the account. That's where, I mean, what more do you want? You know, do you really want to go over there and have to snake that toilet? Do you really want to get underneath that house, open up the clean out, possibly get some of it back on you, okay, because you're trying to save some money with the plumber and everything? You're going to have to pay dues no matter what you do, okay? The thing about this investment right here is that you probably never had anybody tell you you can be the bank, okay? And so you can set it up. I know one lady that she has had over 200 properties in her lifetime, and at one time she just said, you know what, I'm owner finance and everything, and that's what she did. And she said, Robert, it was the best move I ever made. She said, I don't have to put up with taxes, insurance, and any of that, because I'll tell you this is that the person that's buying the house, they have to do that. Now in the state of Florida, when it comes to taxes, the owner, the person that's on the mortgage, they'll get a tax notice, okay? So you just go online, check it, and if the person's not paying the taxes, then boom, you just take the property back, okay? You want to call them up first and ask them, hey, what's going on? We need to get this taken care of, yada, yada. Okay, again, this is where having that attorney comes in to write all of this up. Second thing is that you're listed as beneficiary on the homeowner's insurance. So boom, if the house goes up or something happens, guess what? You get paid, okay? It's the same thing as if you got the loan from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Manhattan, one of the big boys, okay? You're playing big boy games now, all right? And the thing about it, though, is that you're really not trying to build a business, and you're really not worried about somebody coming back and saying, man, his rates are high. What you're going to be doing is saying, man, my stack of cash is high, okay? Because with a situation like this, you're not looking at somebody's credit score, you're not looking at their Beacon score, you're looking at the asset. What does the asset do for me? So think about it, $65,000 loan against a house that's 105 to 120. I mean, how is it that you can lose? I mean, does the market have to go down 50% and then the person has to stop making payment for you to get the house back? How likely is that going to happen? Probably not, okay? Anything's possible, but probably not. So, if you got any questions, my suggestion is go talk with a real estate attorney, okay? Ask them, how is it that I would go about doing private mortgages? and see what they have to say, okay? My attorney's like, man, they're real simple, they're real easy, boom. You know, I have 2 properties that I bought from people that they did it under finance on. I have 1 property that I've done it with somebody else, you know, that I did the mortgage, so to speak, and everything. And so far it's been working out great, you know, and I don't get those phone calls. So this is even more passive than rental properties, okay? Because this is really where you want to be at, all right? I'd give up $200 a month on every one of my properties for them not to be calling me about any problems. So you think about it, you do the math, and I think you'll agree that doing owner finance, because like I said, I talked to a guy today, he was like, well, I get 7%, you know, on this indices, and it was something having to do with stocks, but he said the index has to stay the same. If it goes down, then my money goes down the same. And I'm like, man, you know, I quit riding roller coasters a long time ago. I said, I like something steady, set in stone, and this is what it's going to be. Something that I can bank on, something that I can count on, something I can build a foundation, you know. Because if I'm looking at, okay, I need X number of dollars coming in every month. Oh, we had, you know, Dow Jones down 3 grand, or 3,000 points. Oh, you know, my income's cut in half. Nah, I ain't about all that, you know. I mean, if, you know, I need some cheese, I need to count on my cheese. You know what I'm saying? So, again, this is something that you don't hear being talked about with real estate in the real estate field. You'll always hear people talk about flipping, woo, flipping, okay? But if you flip houses, guess what? You got to flip another one to get paid, okay? You make this loan, you'll be getting paid for 10 years. You make a 30-year loan, guess what? You'll be getting paid 360 months, okay? And if you look up a mortgage calculator, you almost triple the money that you loan on a 30-year note. Hard to beat that kind of money, folks. I'm here to tell you. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. It's just another hustle right here. Have a wonderful night.